Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another episode of AskGufish. It's been a relatively light week for videos. I think there was only the Cort KX500 etched demo. Pretty cool guitar, Fishman Fluence pickups. Only about 750 bucks. Go check it out. It's a really fun video. I'll leave a link to the cards if you haven't seen it yet. And with that, let's just jump into your questions. In response to this Harley Benton post, Joker_X_2468 says, Agufish, was this your idea? Nope. Surprisingly enough, Harley Benton putting EMGs into the SC550s and SC Customs was not my idea. It was 100% their idea. They asked me if they should do it though, and I was like, why? The beauty of the SC550 and the Customs is that there aren't any non-essential premium specs in there. So you've essentially got pre-built mod platforms. Let the player pick it up for a great price and then they can throw in whatever pickups best suit their taste. But also, if we can put EMGs in there at a great price, why not? A lot of people upgrade these with EMGs anyways. Not enough guitars come with EMG retroactive stock, which, controversial opinion, I actually think sounds better than the classic 8160 combo. And that's coming from a fan of the 8160 set. You can check out the comparison I did when I demoed the Amarok. But either way, if you haven't seen them yet, Harley Benton is now offering the SC550 Plus in either Faded Tobacco Flame or Paradise Flame. Both come with a pair of EMG retroactive Fat 55s, which are the PAFE inspired ones. They both go for $370. Then an SC Custom in Satin Vintage Black, Ocean Flame, Trans Brown Flame, and Black Cherry Flame with covered hot 70s. Covered EMGs just kind of look dope, don't they? Those ones go for $420. Cool. And there's even a Floyd version with a Korean 1000 tremolo for 520 bucks. I can't remember the exact pricing of the non-EMG variants, but I think it works out to something like 100 bucks for the EMG upgrade. But other than the new pickups, all the specs are the same as the normal versions. Still ridiculous prices for the spec you get. I haven't played a 550 in a while. I made a video a while back, but the models changed factories a couple of times since then. In 2018, they had slim D-shaped necks. Now, I hear it's more of like a rounded 50s profile, but again, I don't know firsthand. I still really want to try out an SC Custom with a Floyd. Might get one for the channel, actually, now that it's got EMGs. So, no, I wasn't really involved with that project. But ones I was involved with were the new metallic hollow body HB35 Pluses. Honestly, these are pretty much exactly what they sound like. Traditional hollow bodies with metallic finishes. Basically, Harley Benton wanted hollow bodies that were more exciting. Like, obviously, you've got the traditional cherry and lemon and vintage burst, but those are just like, I don't know, predictable? So they're like, what can we do to make them more interesting? Two-tone metallic tops. So there's metallic blue, metallic green, and metallic plum. They didn't want to call it pink, but yeah, it's pink. Double-bound maple hollow body. The back and the sides are natural. Top is a solid metallic color. I thought that was a nice way to make them look more up-to-date without destroying the traditional vibe these guitars have. Also, for some reason, they didn't have one in black with gold hardware, which was like, how? That was a travesty, so that was another one we added. For $250, they're pretty cool if hollow bodies are your thing. Not normally a project I'd be involved with, but it was a ton of fun to mix things up after doing the headless Dullahan and the EX84s and the Amaroks, all metal guitars. I'll leave links to these in the description, by the way, if that's something that you're interested in or you just want to see what I do in the guitar world outside of YouTube. Me being a metal player, I was like, yo, what if we throw EMGs into these? Like an HB35 Plus. And they're like, no, nobody's gonna buy that. I still want to try that though at some point, see if it alleviates any of that infamous feedback you get when you combine hollow bodies with gain. Kangaroo James asked, are companies cool when reviewers sell guitars they're given? I'm not judging or anything, I just imagine they might be upset at something like that, but I'm not in the guitar industry, so I don't know, lol. I can only speak for myself, not for everyone else, but the short answer is, it depends. Like, I know a lot of you have questions because either you're curious or you want to break into this industry, and just like pretty much every other industry, it's all about relationships. So if somebody sends you something and is all like, yeah, keep it, maybe you can use it in other videos if that's something that's applicable, and you're like, yeah, sure, and then you go and sell it right after the video, or even worse, you don't make a video at all and then you sell it, that's a dick move. General rule of thumb in this industry, and life in general, don't be a dick. It's okay to have an ego, that's entertainment, but don't be a dick. I feel like that's something more people need to hear. Yeah, I've never personally had anyone get mad at me for selling a piece of gear, because usually if anyone sends me something, it's like, hey, we're sending you this, if you like it, can you make a video? If you don't, just send it back. That's why there aren't too many super negative reviews on this channel. I do not like wasting my time on stuff that I just don't enjoy. Realistically though, even if I do really like something, and I make the video on it, I can't play like 50 guitars at the same time. So if it stays with me, it might never get played. And since I price to sell, it works out for everyone. Brand gets content, you guys get a hopefully entertaining video. Someone who will give it enough playing time gets a sick guitar that's basically brand new for a great price, and I get rent and Pringle food money. Everybody wins, and yeah, don't be a dick. Before we get into the next question, massive shout out to Stefano, Bortolozzo, and the rest of the amazing members over on Patreon. I really hope I didn't butcher that too hard, but you guys are awesome making all this possible. Just want to make sure everyone knows that. You can also get the MP3s and tabs to all the demo tracks over there. And now, into the next question. Matt Zim says, when will you review that Maybach guitar? Yeah, a lot of you noticed that one in the back of last week's Ask-a-Fish video. At least I think it was last week. Quarantine time moves weird. I cannot wait until May 1st. Yeah, the Maybach review is in the pipeline. The very, very long pipeline. Ask your mother about that one. But I'm definitely gonna try to prioritize it because I love that guitar. The Lester is one of my favorite new guitars I've played in a while. I'm going full Blues Dad dentist with my Telecasters and old school Les Pauls. Couldn't be happier. And there have been requests for pictures and up-close shots, so here you go. It is gorgeous, and the playability is just as good as it looks. Subscribe, bell, all that so you don't miss that review. But yeah, it's really, really good. Did you see the ESP showcase? Holy shit. So if you guys want to see some straight up guitar porn, the ESP exhibition series is just, I mean, what I love about guitars is that you can play them and use them to make music, but also the design, the wood choice, color choice, hardware choice, they're works of art. The degree or ratio of instruments art differs depending on quality and price point, but like if you're looking for an example of guitars that are unquestionably artistic masterpieces, you have to check out the ESP Exhibition Limited Series. Every year, apart from this one, Cries and Pandemic, the ESP booth is one of my favorites to visit and revisit throughout the NAMM show. As soon as you walk in to the right, it's just a collection of the most jaw-dropping, exquisitely crafted, one-of-a-kind instruments. The basic idea is that ESP lets their master builders take the gloves off and build whatever they want. Of course, they have to stay within the limitations of ESP shapes, but other than that, limitless creativity. This year, sadly, no NAMM, but they still did the limited exhibition series. They are absolutely gorgeous. I'll leave a link in the description to the full gallery because there is some in there that are just stunning. But I figured this being the Single Cult channel, we at least need to take a look at the Eclipses together. The first one, I mean, this is the least good looking, but I mean, I'd still take it. Hinoki wood tile top, and it's done in a way where you see the rings of the wood. Same pattern in the metal pickguard, bird's eye maple neck that's been dyed like in a cloud gray. Coca-Cola fingerboard. I've learned of 2 new woods just by looking at the spec sheet of this guitar. Second one, Buckeye Burl hybrid wood resin top, roasted ash body. What? I love such intense, highly unpredictable figuring like this. Multi-piece flamed maple and purple heart neck, so cool. Single cuts are so underserved when it comes to multi-wood, multi-piece necks. Like, what the heck, guys? We like this stuff too. My favorite one, though, is this sea blue masterpiece. I mean, it reminds me of a PRS in that it's the most traditional, but it's just done so well. Like, look at that dark, natural wood combined with the blue flame maple and the blue bird's eye maple neck. I love the wood pickup covers and custom, I don't know, Gothic style, worn nickel hardware on these customs. Interesting how it looks like they've got the Hetfield style control layout with the dual pickup selectors on Hetfield's models. The top one is a dummy, but at least in the past with these showcase models, they both actually did something. The top was a pickup selector and the bottom was a boost switch. Like, if I had 10 grand lying around, which is what one of these costs, I probably still wouldn't buy one. Would definitely use that as part of a down payment for a house that has a proper studio space. But I love looking at these for inspiration. Like, what are some ideas from these that look awesome and you can add to production models without raising the cost too much? But yeah, have you checked these out? What were your favorites? Let me know in the comments. Payne, Kramer Enthusiast says, what strings do you use and what gauge normally? 9-42s, clear tone, or D'Addario XTs? When I tell people that, they're like, 9-42s? For metal? Are you serious? But yeah, I like light gauges, and treated strings are the best because you don't have to change strings for weeks or sometimes months, and they still feel fine. They don't feel super gross. So that saves money. I'm a fan of that. In my opinion, clear tones and D'Addario XTs, at least for electric strings, feel pretty much identical to normal strings. Viscous Girl says, how do you feel about other variants of mustard, such as whole grain mustard or English mustard? Alright, listen, I'm new to the whole mustard world, you gotta calm down. I have a lot to learn. For example, that whole grain mustard even existed, or the English have a whole different take on mustard. Knowing the Brits, though, it's probably lacking in key areas like flavor, and you're probably gonna need to add ketchup anyways. All love. I have English cousins, and they're fantastic cooks. I just like to mess with them. But now, what other variants of mustard should I be looking into? Mustard gang, drop your recommendations down below. And now, of course, it's time to hear from yet another adoring fan. It's the high praise of the week. Learn how to play a guitar other than banging drop D bullshit, Junior. 63 years old, first guitar 1965. Oh, nice. He's an edgy old dude. Cool. Very cool. On to more positive things. Music recommendation this week is South on 65 by Hillions. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is gonna be a controversial one. It's kind of a super group involving Cody Quaistad of Wage War and Maddie Mullins from Memphis May Fire. So I thought it was gonna be heavy as It's not. It's straight country rock. So some of you are gonna love it. Some of you maybe not so much. It's catchy. I have a soft spot for country. If you do too, check it out. I'll leave a link in the cards. Now I'll do it for this week's episode of Askgufish. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor, hit that like button, leave your thoughts, your comments on anything discussed down below. You can do all the YouTube things like subscribe, notifications if that's something that you want to do. Social media, merch, and Discord server links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll see you for the next video.